Hey, welcome to Wolf's Watch. I'm Wolf. Is your mission statement for your company clear? Is it really focused? And we've talked about this and how it ties into operations, into recruiting your team, the team that you need to have, how it is crucial, especially with the millennial generation. But is your mission statement really worth the paper it's written on? Can it guide decision making as well? It's a crucial part of your decision making, what you say no to, right? If it's off mission, got to say no. So, want to this ties into a fun on this day historical note. On this day, February 8th in 1910, Boy Scouts of America was founded, and since then, millions of our youth in America have become part of the program. They develop skills that are crucial for being successful in life in a lot of different ways, both mental skills and physical skills with the hands. They even have they've expanded into special tracks. Like there's a STEM track, there's an explorer track. We're exploring different career options. Actually, get a chance to have mentors and to be able to sample different career paths before really taking the leap. Because Boy Scouts of America is for youth up to age 20. It really helps them get pointed in life. They have a strong mission and have had from the very beginning. In fact, the founder of the Boy Scouts of America created that as a pay it forward. He was a journalist. He was visiting in the UK, and there was a scout. There were multiple programs, and one of the things that he did was in the US bring those programs together under the umbrella of Boy Scouts of America. But there was a scout that helped him find where he was going. And he tried to compensate this young man, and he's like, no, 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 wouldn't have it, wouldn't have it. And that was part of their scouting creed, is that good deeds need not be compensated. You don't do the good deed just because someone's going to pay you a buck, or you don't say, yeah, you don't withhold helping someone when you can, just because you want them to pay you, type of thing. There's a time and a place for money to change hands, and there, excuse me, there's the time and a place to help someone because you're in a position to do it and you can. So here, let me get my reading glasses on. I'm going to read this to you from scouting.org. It's the Boy Scouts of America homepage. So here's how they define their mission. And this is where it ties into what we're talking about with the mission statement of your company. For the Boy Scouts of America, the mission of Boy Scouts of America is to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetimes by instilling in them the values of the Scout Oath and law. Pretty strong. So it's right to the point. Prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices based on Scout Oath and Scout Law. Well, what's the Scout Law? Let's start with that. So the Scout Law is a Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. There's a lot packed into that. Some can argue with some of those values, excuse me, that are there, but when people make fun of the Scouts, I've always wanted, and hear that from time to time, it's like, oh, it's such a Boy Scout. What's wrong with being trustworthy, loyal, and helpful, and friendly, and courteous? Since when did our culture in America degrade to where those things or those attributes are to be mocked or to be despised, as opposed to something that we should aspire to? Right now, most of the people, bear with me for a second, I think from my experience in multiple states within the USA, most people are right on board with that. I think for some sectors of media, we get in entertainment, we get that message thrown at us, perhaps because it's good for clickbait online, perhaps because it's good for a joke in movies, and perhaps because it at times makes a point of going, oh, this is someone who's a sketchy character in a storyline. But the Scout Law, so coming back to mission, mission says preparing people through the values of the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. So Scout Law, again, trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. So what's the Scout Oath? Let's back up again. Scout Oath is, on my honor, I will do my best to my duty to God and my country, and to obey Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Now, our current culture, 2022 in America, could probably argue with several of the terms in there. Step back and look at the overall what they're doing is how to apply in their personalities and their actions the Scout law in service of achieving the Scout mission. Now, argue with that as you may, Boy Scouts of America have had a very positive impact on a lot of people. 180 of our astronauts, of which there's only about 500-ish total, 180 have been Boy Scouts, have gone through the scouting program. Pretty significant percentage. So they've had a good impact. They've helped people with skills, and now again they focus on things like STEM, on sea skills. If you like water, it's one of the things they say on our website. For those that are really great with the water, which growing up, and you couldn't keep me out of the water. Now I'm living in the Los Angeles area. Every time I walk along the cliffs or along the Pacific Ocean or along the beach, I think, how did I get to not be in the water so much? Because I love it. Absolutely love it. Boating, swimming, diving. Anyway, so they have a program that focuses, they have tracks that focus on different things, but that are still about developing skills, mindset, physical ability in order to be able to pursue their potential in life. Now, let's not get, whether you agree with the terms that they're using in the mission, law, and oath, look at what they're doing with that. Their mission of the Boy Scouts of America is to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetimes by instilling in them the values of the Scout, oath, and law. Is your business mission, is your company's mission statement as clear as that? Many aren't. Let me ask you this. Could you take your company name and put it on another company at random, select another company's mission, and have it still mean the same thing as what you've written? Could you do the flip side of that? Could you take someone else's company name and put it on your company mission and have it not make a difference? Have it still hold true with the new company name? See, with Boy Scouts, what they did with their mission is very specific. So it's really hard for that to apply to any other organization. So it's what makes them unique, what they're trying to accomplish. Now, could this be made better? Maybe. Maybe it could be perhaps more specific of why it's important, why they feel that the ethical and moral choices over a lifetime are important, how that connects to a larger social and cultural environment. You could do that, right? So but still, it's in, I would say, at least top quartile, if not top 10% of mission statements that I've seen for organizations over the years. How does yours compare to that? Take a look at that. What does it say? This is specifically what we do and why we do it. Because the more specificity there is, the more tie into the impact that you're having for the community that you serve, the better the mission statement. And then be able to tie that, because this is something that gives a good example of it ties back into what they do and why. So they talk about Scout law. Well, we use the Scout law. That's everything they do revolves around the Scout law and the Scout oath in service of their mission, in service of having a positive impact on the youth that are part of the Scouts, the part of the scouting program, or go through the scouting program. Do you provide that kind of guidance in your organization through your mission statement and subsequent supporting documents, right? That supports decision making for the Scouts, right? If they have an opportunity to do something, perhaps partner with another organization, implement a new program, it needs to filter through those three statements in order to be something that's consistent with their mission. That's part of the power of having a strong mission statement, and then in developing the culture within your company that supports that is in services of that. Measuring, are you having the outcome that you want in your business based on what your mission statement says? So food for thought. And thank you, Boy Scouts of America, since 1910. Wow, that's a pretty good run. 12 years? So 112 years. Happy birthday, Boy Scouts of America. And thank you for being part of Wolf's Watch. What are your comments on this? What's your thought? And how do you feel about your mission statement? You know, I'd love to see it in the chat or in the comments if you're watching this after we're done with the live broadcast. How do you feel your mission statement stacks up? Where is it strong? Where is it weak? Where have you seen? How about this? Examples, so that you're not airing your dirty laundry from your company, so to speak. What are examples you've seen of really good and really lame mission statements? Mary Drisback, was I a Boy Scout? Yes, I was. I was a member of the Scouts for a few years. I went through Cub Scouts and a couple of years in the Boy Scouts, and it's a great experience. You know, we began developing skills, developing friendships, developing not friendships. There's some people I haven't spoken to for a long time here since I was in the Scouts. We got to know each other, and you know, enjoyed the heck out of the thing that stands out most for me were the camping trips that we did and skills that were learned about. You know, how do you set up camp, get a campfire going, be responsible with a campfire so you're not burning down the area that you're camping in. And you know, Mary, were you involved with any of the scout troops, either for boys or girls? You know, Girl Scouts or any of that as well? It really it has a positive impact, and it was also an opportunity for the kids and the parents to come together and socialize outside of some of the other formal structures like school and work and whatnot, to do something that was positive for growing the community as well. So thanks for that question, Mary, and thanks for being part of Wolf's Watch. Got to run to a meeting, and I'm hoping you're having an awesome day. Again, you know, if were you part of Scouts? What was your experience? How does your mission statement stack up to something like the Scouts? What are examples? And this is the third thing. Love to see your comments on what are examples of what you consider to be a great mission statement or a really lame. You know, mission statements are they're really strong, like the Boy Scouts of America have, or they're just so watered down that they don't really mean anything. They're nice. It's all platitudes, but it doesn't really help with guiding anything. Mary, Girl Scout helped as a parent. Yeah, see, it's a great experience, and it helps create a sense of community when you're outside your local community as well, because you meet people that were part of scouting programs in other parts of the world. Um, here's a quick factoid for you. The University of California, Irvine is built on the site for one of the Boy Scouts of America annual jubilees. There's a couple of the Jubilee Boulevard Jamboree. I'm sorry, the annual Boy Scouts of America Jamboree. The Jamboree Boulevard not just it leads into the campus in Campus Drive. Those were cut into the wilderness and cut and dressed for by the Boy Scouts of America as they prepared that area for the thousands of people that converged on that in what was not Irvine. The city of Irvine, I don't believe was even there yet at that time, because this was 1930s, I want to say. I have to look that up. Sorry, I didn't think about that. It's just one of those thoughts that came to mind. But that was something that was a positive impact. So that created the initial foundation for being able to build the University of California, Irvine, in that area, and one of the most important major boulevards through the city of Irvine now, Jamboree Boulevard. So Mary Schober Dressback, thank you so much for joining us, being part of the conversation. I appreciate that. And for you, you know, again, your comments. Were you in the Scouts? What was your experience like? What do you consider to be a strong or not strong example of a mission statement? If you got one, share that with us. How does your mission statement stack up when you compare it to the Boy Scouts of America mission statement, and how might you be able to adjust that? So thanks for being part of Wolf's Watch. Glad to have you part of the conversation. I'm Wolf, and I look forward to seeing you